It's my favorite week of any single training cycle. I love deloads, I love to rest, and I love just getting to the end of something that I've set out for myself. Now, deloads are just letting your body reset so that you can feel the effort that you've put in and the work that your body has accomplished. A lot of people have a hard time letting themselves rest after any sort of training cycle, and I'm here to say that rest, active recovery, and deloads have become paramount to every single one of my training regimens and cycles. Now, I had no idea that rest, deloads, and active recovery could be so impactful to my body, to myself, but more importantly, to my nervous system. And it's my nervous system every single time. What am I doing this for? So my nervous system has the capacity to hold everything that I've been training for. The joy, the quickness, the progress. It's all about the capacity of our nervous system. Now, something that I learned from David Goggins while he was interviewed on Andrew Huberman's podcast was our heart rate training zones pair and match to our mental and emotional zones. So if we are training in those upper heart rate zones all the time, that means our nervous system is always getting maxed out at capacity. And it's an easier correlation to hit burnout too quickly. And burnout's no fun. If you've been there, it's like a dead end in the road. It's all about not hitting burnout once you've hit it. One of the things that I learned to incorporate to not hit burnout is active recovery. Let me tell you about it. Active recovery is any sort of modality of recovery that is a proactive process. So if you are doing something like meditation, breath work, reading, writing, art, music, any sort of activity that's going to give to yourself and have gains in the future, that's active recovery. Active recovery is building your nervous system up. It's taking rest and it's taking an activity and it combines them so that you feel rejuvenated while you're doing your active recovery. Sometimes I do breath work. Sometimes I just sit and listen to nature. Sometimes I walk through it and enjoy what I'm seeing. Anything that can spark awe and wonder during my active recovery, I'm in for it. Now, in the past, I used to work so hard during my training cycles that the only thing that I could do on rest days was crash out on the couch. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to say there is anything wrong with that. If you're working hard, sometimes that's what needs to be done. But what we come to learn and know is that crashing out on our rest days isn't the most proactive way to continue a sustainable training lifestyle. If we want to go for longevity, if we want to feel rejuvenation for a lot of our days, active recovery needs to be incorporated into your training cycles. So here's how you can do it. Take any 8 or 12 week training cycle and add 1 week of a deload to the end of it before you start your next cycle. The other way you can do it is add at least 1 or 2 days of active recovery within your weeks of active training. So if you're training on Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday, for me, Wednesdays become my active recovery day and Sundays become a full rest day. Now, why would we even want to add active recovery? Does rest even help our gains? Yes, it does. Rest is what gives your nervous system the time and the space to integrate all that you've been training and all that you've been progressing towards. Rest also expands the capacity of your nervous system. It makes you capable of being able to go further, farther, for longer in your mental and emotional capacities while you're also training your physical capacity. And you know what rest also does? It makes it way less easy to burn out. Now, the mental hurdle of actually enjoying rest and trusting yourself and your body that you're not going to lose all your gains, you're not going to just stay in a slump forever, is actually one of the biggest hurdles and challenges of my life. I can train all day long until the sun sets, until everybody comes home. I can train and I can train and I can train. But stopping knowing that I will be able to start again, knowing that I'm not just gonna like stay resting forever, it's taken me years to build that trust with myself. But now that that trust is here, I've got to say, my active recovery and my rest days have become some of my favorite days of the week. I get to pause, I get to listen. Sometimes insights and intuitions come through. I'm surprised every time, whether it's breath work or meditation or an art project or calling a friend, some sort of point of connection, just listening and listening. The funniest part about this all is when I take a rest day, it's wonderful, I rest. Sometimes I feel a little bit sluggish, but the day after a rest day, I would expect that I would feel like $1,000,000. Sometimes I don't, and that's really hard because who doesn't want to feel like $1,000,000 all the time? Of course, I do, but what I've learned is using those rest days and building the trust within myself to just keep going and matching the capacity of my energy no matter what day it is the trick to the longevity. Now, there's probably one other point that I need to touch upon here, and that's understanding the difference between active recovery, which is a proactive activity that's going to rejuvenate you and your nervous system in the long term, versus passive recovery. And passive recovery is any sort of activity that does not provide you gains, aka sitting on the couch for 6 to 8 hours, binging a show, eating bonbons, on and on and on. That will not make you feel better after you do it. That will not make you feel better the next day. And that will not add any sort of progress to your training lifestyle goals or gains. So this literally is an ode to how much I love active recovery, how much I've gained from it in my life, and how much I've learned just applying and sharing the knowledge of active recovery. Now, we could go on and on down the list of why current cultures need more active recovery in our lives. Hustle culture, any sort of just tapping out, maxing out the system. We could go down the list, but this isn't that kind of video. This video is here to show you why you want to add active recovery, why rest days are important, and how to add it to your fitness lifestyle. So get outside, do something new, give yourself some active recovery. And the most important part, trust yourself. Trust that the rest is giving to your nervous system. Trust that you will continue with your training program, your nutrition program, whatever it is you're trying to adhere to once your active recovery is over. And that's it. Get some active recovery in your life, get some rest in your life, get some expansiveness in your nervous system, feel joy, feel rejuvenated, and keep on keeping on with your training program.
We staying cold through the summer, we do it like no other, we so take it out.